Very seldom do I have cash or coins in my purse. So this week, week 4 somehow of Lent, about coins was a bit of a struggle. Since I've been a little girl, I have always collected my change in piggy banks, in Ziploc bags, in mason jars. Um, and so whenever I have cash and I get change, I immediately put it in whatever device is holding the change, and then I have always taken it to the bank. I paid for the last part of a trip out of the country, taking my yellow pencil or my yellow crayon piggy bank into the bank and dispensing that cash and depositing it so that I could pay for the rest of my trip. So this week with coins, it's had me thinking, right? We Venmo, we PayPal, we Zelle, I think is what my sister was trying to get me to do. Dan and I still write checks. We transfer money on our phones. We use credit cards from time to time. We swipe our debit card or tap it for everything. Apple Pay is familiar with clicking the buttons. It's not often that I hold money or coin or cash in my hands. So I have, like Dan did, I have 2 coins, 2 copper pennies. And one of Duffield's illustrations from Lent in Plain Sight is about the widow. The widow who takes her 2 copper coins and puts them in the offering plate. Often this is a story we hear during stewardship season, that the woman gave her all. But I've been thinking about it this week in the form of gifts. Not just money, coin gifts, but gifts, right? At Tuesday Connections, I try to teach the kids, we, the adults, try to teach the kids that you have gifts, you have value, you have merit just as you are. This very week, we introduced many of them to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Hurt my heart a little bit. They did know Daniel Tiger, so that was a little redeeming. But we introduced them to Mr. Rogers, and I told them about how for years as a Presbyterian minister ordained to doing his work of the gospel through TV, he told children, no matter who they are or what they look like or what things were easy or what things were hard for them, that they were loved and gifted. And I try to share that with our youth. They're forming a youth band ensemble and will be leading us in worship in a few weeks with their musical gifts. Thanks to Mr. Landeros for putting all the students together and making that happen. Right? I said in a meeting earlier this week that you'd have to forgive my math because I'm no good at math. And immediately a colleague said, yes, but you're good at blah, 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 blah. The widow, as Jesus saw her that day in the temple, brought all she had. Yes, 2 copper coins, but she brought all she had. Her doubts, her worry. I don't know if I could give my last 2 coins away if that was literally all I had. I'm not sure my faith, my heart, my fear would in that moment, I don't know that I would give it all away or could give it all away. And yet that's how Jesus sees the woman. For Jesus, I think after this week, it's not this week of reflecting. It's not just the 2 coins. It's that she wholeheartedly, despite all of her doubts, because of all of her faith, stepped up and gave her whole self to God. We don't know her before that moment in the temple, and we don't know her after that moment in the temple. But by Jesus calling her out, by drawing our attention to her, by drawing her attention to 2 copper coins, I hear Jesus say, I want all of you. And as Dan has reminded us in his sermons week in and week out during Lent, that's really what this whole season is about. It's about repentance and turning and becoming new, but giving our whole selves to God. So whether you're like me or not, and you never have coins in your pockets, or bills in your wallet, I hope that you'll pause this week and consider what offering your whole self to Jesus could look like. Maybe it is 2 copper coins, and God would say, well done. Maybe it's a piece of your heart or your life that you've shut off from God's love and goodness. Once again, I think God would say, well done. Maybe it's recommitting yourself to this whole idea of faith and love and service. Again, God would say, well done.